All right, we are back with another video. We are here after watching game 3 of the Indiana Pacers versus Oklahoma City Thunder. And Indiana takes game 3 and goes up in the series 2-1 as they win 116-107. Very interesting game that we witnessed today. As Oklahoma City, they do get some performances you would think that could, net out a victory for them. Lou Dort shoots the ball well today. J Dub shoots the ball well from the field and from three. Now people would say, Shea wasn't the greatest today. He had 24 on 20 shots, not the greatest of efficiency. And he had 6 turnovers. They did kind of turn the ball over a lot today. But in all honesty, I don't want to really talk about the specific game today for this post game video. I just want to talk about the concept of Indiana as a whole and as a team. I've said in previous videos, and if you see me on, Players Choice on the panel, shout out to them. If you see me on Twitter or TikTok, I come across, some would say I'm a Haliburton hater. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's a deserved title, personally. I think I'm a Haliburton truther. But I think that, again, we've made the mistake of wanting to exalt a player because their team is winning, right? We want to exalt them into these talks. But I think when people do that, they're missing an opportunity to really actually tell the truth about what's happening. And maybe this could be a shift just in the league and how we perceive basketball as a whole in the NBA. The Pacers are 2 games away from winning a championship without, in my opinion, like a top 15 player on the roster. Last year, even, because the theory has been that you kind of need a top 10 player to win a ring. And although the Celtics did have one last year in Jason Tatum, but Jason Tatum didn't perform to like top 10 levels and in a multitude of games and series throughout that run last year, and they won a championship. So I think the turn, I did say they were a dark horse. Yes, you can find that video on Players Choice as well, where I did say the dark horse in the East were the Indiana Pacers. So for all those saying I'm such a hater, I had Indiana as the dark horse in the East. The reason being is that I think we're getting to a point where, like in 2025, the need for like a top 5 to 10 player to win a championship maybe isn't as prevalent as we think it is. Now, in my opinion, the reason why I still have OKC winning this series is I think that if you have well-constructed team with best player around top 15-ish, top 20-ish, and well-constructed team and best players in like best in the world talks, I'm choosing well-constructed team with best player being in best in the world talks. And that is Oklahoma City Thunder. But again, I just want to point out how the Pacers play such a unique brand of basketball that I think it is going to be adapted throughout the league, right? The pace they play with, the intensity that their guards play with defensively, right? They may not be like the best, but the fact that Andrew Nembhard will pick you up full court consistently, the fact that Neesmith will pick you up full court defensively, right? Navigate screens, stay on their man. And then the roster is good enough to where, okay, if Pascal has a mismatch, he's good enough to capitalize on the mismatch, and we're willing to throw him the ball for him to capitalize on. It's not oh well, we're doing another action over here, or Haliburton feels like, oh, because I'm the best player, I'm going to ignore that action and I'm going to take what I perceive to be a advantageous matchup and try to go one-on-one. It's none of that. Pascal has a mismatch, we're going to swing it to Pascal. Miles Turner has a deep seal against a smaller player, we're going to give the ball to Miles Turner. Like it's simple, but it's the fact that they do the simple things well, and they're going to capitalize on the simple things over and over and over and over again. And I think they're ushering in again a new concept that we're in, where it's like, if they beat OKC, who again is a well constructed team with an MVP caliber player, the MVP of the league. This is going to be really eye opening to me and to many across just the basketball landscape. This is going to be a very impressive run that they put together because they're going to be Giannis, right? Which a lot of people believe that, you need the best player on the court or the best player in the series to win a series. And they're going to prove that basically throughout the entirety of their run, that that's really not the case. They didn't have the best player in the series around one because they played Giannis. In my opinion, they didn't have the best player in the series against the Cavs. That was D. Mitch. They didn't have the best player in the series against the Knicks. That was Jalen. And now they're playing the MVP and they're up 2-1. And it's from a team concept, right? So shout out to them, man. They're breaking a lot of modes. And again, I don't want that to be missed because we have to exalt a specific player from their team into talks that they shouldn't be in. And then we like, to me, we're missing the forest for the trees. You know what I'm saying? As soon as we want to say, oh, Holly's now a top 7 or 10 player, it's like, but he's not though. And that's okay. That's the other thing. It's okay that he's not. It's okay that he's not. Look at how the team performs. Another thing to me that's getting missed because people want to exalt players is the coach. The job that Rick Carlisle has done with this Indiana Pacer team is unbelievable. And I think he also is one that's missing a lot or not getting his just due credit because the style of play that he's captured in Indiana, the culture he's captivated, right? He's got all the players bought into the system. They believe in what he's saying. They believe in his principles and his concepts. That's going to be missed if we just talk about the players. Rick Carlisle is doing an absolutely phenomenal job with this Indiana Pacer team. Phenomenal, right? And so again, would you rather have, a roster with this one great outstanding top 5 player, and you do have some good ancillary pieces, but like roster spots like 5 through or 4 through 8 or 9 can be tricky, or you're like, what, I have Pascal who's like top 25 to 30ish. I have Haliburton who's top 15 to 20ish. And then I just have a slew of really good players to fill out the roster. Benedict Mathurin scored 27 points today in 22 minutes. He comes off the bench, but he's a good player. He's a really good player. TJ McConnell. If you look at the shooting splits, you would think that he wasn't the greatest. TJ McConnell was phenomenal today. Phenomenal. Comes off the bench. Ben Shepherd is another one who competes defensively. Obi Toppin defensively during this playoff run has been really good. He made a few defensive plays today. He comes in, he can either hit a three or be energetic defensively, lob threat. He was a plus 18 today, highest on the team. Miles Turner didn't shoot the ball the greatest. He had 5 blocks though. Like Aaron Nesmith, again, competing hard defensively. Pascal finally had an efficient game offensively, scoring the ball. And then Tyrese Haliburton had himself a game today, right? 9 of 17 from the field, 4 of 8 from 3, 11 assists, 9 rebounds, 2 steals, and a block, 22 points. I think they showed a graphic today that when he's like 20 and 10, they're 20 and 1 in the regular and postseason. This is a really good basketball team with an unbelievable basketball coach who's bought in to their culture and what they want to do as a team and how they want to play. So shout out to the Indiana Pacers, man. They are 2 wins away from hoisting up the Larry O. And nobody outside of Indiana would have told you that that could happen this year. Hell, I don't even know if people in Indiana thought they would win a championship this season. On the other hand, for Oklahoma, on the panel on Players Choice, not the last episode, but maybe the episode before that, I actually did have the Pacers winning this game today. I said the Pacers were going to win game 3. Reason being, Oklahoma City, to me, I'm not quite sure what the numbers entail, but I do know as far as their home against away performance and net rating and offensive rating and defensive rating and all of that stuff, they're a worse team on the road this year in the playoffs. Just without a shadow of a doubt, they're worse. Some would attribute that to them kind of being a young team, and a young team kind of thrives at home. I know a lot of people have been saying like, "Oh, this playoff run is historic for them because of the net rating or point differential." But to me, when we watch these games, like I don't really see them as like a historic. I don't see this as a historic run personally. I don't. Now they absolutely demolish teams at home, which is why their point differential and net rating and stuff can grade out very well. But on the road, they haven't been that impressive to me. They got away with it against Memphis because Memphis wasn't that good, and then John Morant got hurt, right? And then the next round they played Denver. They kind of looked a little shaky on the road a few times to me against Denver. Now, granted, they did handle Minnesota well, but to me, that was because Minnesota didn't game plan well enough for OKC. I feel like the game plan against them, in all honesty, you load up on Shea, and then you say, "Hey, if Chet, J Dub, Lou Dort, Alice Caruso, Aaron Wiggins, like if they beat me, then they beat me." You know what I'm saying? Like I'm applying as much pressure as possible to Shea Gilgeous Alexander. I'm trying to keep helping the gaps. In some games, those players hit those threes for OKC, especially at home. However, on the road, not so much. Look at Chet, 0 for 6 from 3 today. Hell, you've had a game today. Lou Dort hit 4 of his 5. Alex been burning. He been having a burner all postseason. So I'm not. You may have to reconsider leaving Alex open. Alex been hitting that shit. But I mean, Isaiah Joe hits 2, but I mean he only plays 4 minutes because he can't stay in the game defensively. Aaron Wiggins doesn't even get one up, and he's 0 for 2 from the field. Period. Casey Wallace 0 for 1. J Dub only takes 2 himself. I'm living, bro. I'm living. Now I do still have OKC winning this series. I want to be clear. I do have OKC winning this series. But it's tough. They had a stat today after the game that 81% of teams that go up 2-1 in the finals end up winning the finals. Indiana's up 2-1 with game 4 at home. Cavs went up 2-1 in 2015. The Cavs didn't have their second or third best player playing. So that's a dumb comparison. That's idiotic to bring up the 2015 Cavaliers. I'm sorry. Indiana's not the 2015 Cavs. All of their players are available. Yeah, that's cope. That's peak cope. That's what that is. Oh man. I want OKC to win the series bad. I really do. I would, but I'm just at a point now to where like I'm not shocked if Indiana wins the series. I'm gonna keep it a buck, bro. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I wouldn't be shocked if Indiana wins this series at all. They're a really good team, bro. They're a really good team, man. How many playable players do they have? Let me see. In the playoff, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They played 10 people today. Nah, I mean, yeah, J Dub, Isaiah. I don't really count that. Okay, see, the people they're comfortable with is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ish sometimes when it comes to Wiggins. Indiana, all of these players have contributed in their playoff run. Every single one of them of the 10. Thomas Bryant has hit huge threes this playoff run. Gave him great minutes. Ben Shepherd, same thing. Benedict Matt, same thing. Every one of the players contributes on the team. It's amazing. It's amazing to watch. It's amazing to watch, man. A crew has they go 10 deep in the playoffs. Not a lot of teams, even historically, can do that. So, man, look at these minutes, right? Nobody's out there on their last limb, right? Nobody's out there super fatigued. Pascal played 32 minutes. Miles didn't break 30. Nimhard played 33 and a half. The best player on the team didn't break 36. I mean 37. That's so everybody's fresh. Everybody comes in energized. Everybody plays hard. Nobody shooting on like dead legs. Very impressive team, man. Impressive team, impressive season, and very impressive playoff run. MJ22 says Shea has to be better. I absolutely agree he does. I think he'll be better next game for sure. But that's the thing, right? I mean, we're asking one particular player on OKC to be better. And, who's going to be the Benedict Mathurin on OKC that gives Shea 27 points? Because I wouldn't count like Chet or J Dub to be that, they're obviously part of the big three. Like, who's going to be is Aaron Wiggins just going to score 27? Like, crazy, crazy. Shea been getting hunted and it's working. Yeah, they are making Shea work defensively. There was a point in the game, Shea was bent over, had his hands, grabbing his shorts. I think Shea was a little tired today. They kind of wore Shea out a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I think, them hunting Shea over and over again in pick and roll situations, kind of fatigued them. But I think number one, for OKC, do you adjust and just don't allow him to get switched on the Haliburton or Nimhard or whoever's that ball handler is? Do you just kind of have others fighting through that screen and getting over it, so he doesn't have to expound that much energy? We shall see what OKC's adjustment to that is. Maybe Mark just tells Shea, "Hey, be better, be better. We're not changing the coverages. Be better." One adjustment also I want to we'll give credit to Halliburton. And I said this that fourth quarter, even though we all agreed he was like stat padding in that fourth, I said there was something he found and was attacking, right? That little mid range area, little middies or little float shots, little pot shots. And he kind of went there early today to kind of get himself going. And then he saw a few of those go down. And then all of a sudden he's 4 of 8 from three, right? Basketball is about rhythm, flow, and confidence, right? You saw a few go down, few shots go down, and now you're feeling good about that 3-point shot that you shoot. So that was kind of an adjustment. That's something he caught late in last game. Again, that's why you have to, just because you lose a game, and players say this all the time, there can be something a player finds out, even like in a blowout situation, or he gets his rhythm going, or he sees, oh, this is kind of where I can be aggressive, and he picks a new spot. He finds spots he can be aggressive, scoring the ball. And Halliburton kind of found that late in that game, in that fourth quarter. He had like 11 or 12 points or something like that. And it was a couple middies and a floater. And today, he came out there hunting those shots early in the game, saw those drop, and then the jump shots followed. So very impressive win from the Indiana Pacers. Very impressive playoff run if they do complete this. I mean, if you think about it, if they complete this run, they would have beat Giannis, the Cavs, and the Thunder, who were the two best teams in the league this year, right? And the Knicks. They would have another fantastic run for Rick Carlisle if he does do that. But another all-time run for Rick Carlisle. And if they do complete this, Rick Carlisle stamped himself as a top 10 coach all time without a shadow of a doubt. No question. No question. No question. Phenomenal coach with a phenomenal body of work. That'll do it for me. For this game. This post game wrap up. I am your boy Real Talk, and until next time, it's been real.